Namaskar. In this series of fundamentals of Hinduism, today we discuss existence, our existence in general. By now, those of you who have been listening to this series of talks would know that the creation is a reality because I am a real being. I exist. And because we are followers of Hindu religion and whatever we had to say about whether or not to accept all these truths, God is a reality in Hindu religion. And for that matter, in every religion. So you might say, what about Buddhism, which does not accept God? Buddhism also accepts reality that transcends this life. That means life continues in one form or the other after death too. So life continues. You continue to exist. Since you continue to exist, what does it imply? This I am, and there is God. So is it that here I am and there is God, and in between there is nothing? No, it's not that. A religion may have that kind of belief. We don't have this childish belief. So the worlds are collectively known as Brahmand. There are many worlds and many worlds. This is not like the idea of parallel universe that has come nowadays in physics. It's something different. So it consists of the visible and invisible universe. Our universe is visible and the invisible universe. The visible universe can be studied through science. Whatever we have, say in physics and chemistry and biology and all that, it can be studied by science. The invisible universe cannot be studied by science. This is where religion and Hinduism, they all move away from science. So can really science and religion shake hands? Never. They cannot. Maximum, science can reach a point where it say that it's all one, not in the spiritual sense, but in the sense of matter and energy. So the invisible universe are made up of subtle elements and energy. They can be known through a mind and senses made subtle by spiritual practices. This is something that we find in Hindu scriptures coming repeatedly, that as you start practicing spirituality, your mind starts becoming subtle, your senses start becoming subtle, and you start experiencing subtle things. And that's how you experience subtle universe. There are infinite numbers of subtle spheres. These are known as loka. So we have Brahmand and then there are lokas. Lokas means that which can be experienced. Lukyante, drishyante. Acharya Shankara says that which can be experienced, can be seen. Each lok is a temporary place of stay made possible by the psychic force of a being. Once that force is expended, the soul moves to a more subtle loka. So let me explain. Just think of existence as something which is very gross, as in this existence in this physical universe, and it goes on becoming subtle and subtler and subtler and subtler. And earlier we discussed Jeev, which is pure consciousness when identified with the mind. It is continuously in motion. Jeev is continuously in motion. When we are alive, when we are living, we are in continuous motion. And although this is not visible all the time, but look back and you will see that when you were a child, you look different. And as you grew, you changed and you will change further. So Jeev is continuously moving and it is continuously using different body all the time. Just that the change is so slow that it is imperceptible. Death is like pulling the curtains on this body, and the soul moves. Just think of a free floating balloon. It's continuously floating and floating and floating. When it is light, it goes up. When it is heavy, it comes down. Soul is just like that. Depending on the psychic forces, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it comes down. The highest look is where one can be in the eternal company of one's Ishta. Ishta has been explained earlier. Once you can reach that point in the sphere of your Ishta, that is God, you don't have to come down from there. The lokas have different time scale and lifespan. So, for example, here on this physical universe, it is said that lifespan is say 100 years. Some people die earlier, but normally 100 is the average age. You cannot expect a person to live for say 300 years. Just like that, if you go to any sphere, your lifespan is more or less fixed. And but time scale is different. When you go to Brahmalok, which is ruled by Brahma, their time scale is entirely different. So Brahma's lifespan, and consequently your lifespan there, is something like 432 followed by 14 zeros of human years. Something like that. The gods and other beings are believed to have a longer life than humans. Well, this knowledge comes from scriptures, and there's no other way to know. Because when you die, you go to one of those lokas, you will not be knowing about this earth. You will have forgotten that. As we have forgotten where all we were in the past, just like that, you will forget this too. So we have to depend on the words of the scriptures. Until one attains spiritual freedom through divine oneness, one has to transmigrate. This transmigration continues and continues, goes on, moving and revolving and moving and continuously are moving. This will continue because there is this psychic force which is making you move. What is that psychic force? Atman is identified with the mind. Mind is with a body. Body does certain things. It speaks through mouth and thinks. Combine these three: your actions, your words, and your thoughts. Combined, they are known as karma. The psychic force is karma. Depending on what kind of karma you have, what kind of thoughts you thought, acts that you performed, and words that you spoke, you will be moving to different spheres. Even in this society, we know that people of same type tend to stay in same locality. So, what is the meaning of this existence? Whatever that meaning, we don't know. But we know one thing: we need to get out of this cycle, this continuous moving of this individual soul, the jiva. Soul is not Atman, mind it. The idea of Atman is not in any other religion excepting Hinduism. What they call soul is actually jiva, identified with a mind. The idea is to get out of this cycle of existence, which is continuously moving and moving and moving. And this freedom, mukti, can be attained here in this life. This is known as Jivan Mukti, and this is the goal of life. If you go through books on Vedanta, they will be stressing on this fact that you need to realize your nature here and now. Mukti after death is second choice, not the first one. How do you do it? By knowing, by realizing the divine as the underlying truth in everything. Once you know that God alone that has become everything, your karma gets destroyed. Because you want to get something, you want to get out of something simply because you know that You are different from that. But once you know that everything is one, you don't want to get something, you don't want to run away from something. You keep something in your upper pocket or in lower pocket, it makes no difference because everything is you. Spirituality means to see that divine oneness. Hindu religion is not only about mukti, it's also about making one's karma better. Once you make one's karma better, you will have a better next life. That means in this huge tapestry of existence, you will be going to better level of existence. However, the ultimate goal is to burn down the storehouse of karma so that you can have mukti here and now. How to do it? Through work. Work is one of the best ways to burn down karma, and work has to be done unselfishly. It is your duty. You need to do. To When you say that I'm passionate about certain things, it only means that you will be stressed about certain other things. When you do things which you love, you become passionate, like kids playing games. And things you don't like to do, you get stressed there. This is anti spirituality. Because in spirituality, there is no like, no dislike. It has to be done, it will be done, and it is done. Finished. There is no like, dislike, there is no passion, nothing. So, because there is no passion, there is no stress. There is no personal involved, no personal interest involved. So, this idea of mukti, where your transmigration stops forever, where your individuality merges into universality, is the greatest gift of Hindu religion to the world. And this idea of Jivan Mukti, where you attain this liberation here while living, this you do not find in any religion. And Hinduism needs to be protected. Hinduism needs to be strengthened simply for its this unique philosophy of Jivan Mukti, which you don't find in any religion. According to this, the goal is not to go to some heaven after death, but to realize that all existence is within you, and this realization has to come here and now. By this explanation of what existence means in Hinduism, if you can understand what we are discussing, you'll surely feel proud of being a Hindu, and you will definitely strive to protect and strengthen Hindu religion. So, this is existence. Next time we take up another topic. Thank you so much.